Hello, I've just done a turbo training session. I actually did two, because I did 1 hour was an FTP test, so that finished just before midnight, and I'm happy with the results, but I want to improve on the results. So to sort of kick myself, I've sort of did an extra half an hour just to push myself a little bit harder. So was I happy with the FTP test? Yes and no. Happy the way it went, but not quite happy with the result. So we're telling your followers that you've started my video. Okay, so what happened was, so I followed the Zwift 4-week FTP builder. So it's a little training plan on Zwift with the aim of just getting your FTP up. So FTP is a bit of a, you can cheat your way to get a better result because you're only trying to do a 20-minute test. So you're not trying to do a 3-hour bike ride, a 5-hour bike ride. You're not aiming for a sprint. You're not aiming to be good on the hills. You're just trying to do a good 20-minute power. So it doesn't mean you're good. It doesn't mean you're fit or fast. Like a famous YouTuber told me at Christmas time, once he had an amazing FTP and he couldn't do anything with it. And then a different year, he had a crap FTP and he did really well in races. Because it's all about strategy and stuff. So you can sort of train yourself to do a good test, but it doesn't really mean you're an amazing bike rider. It's all about body weight as well. I'm still a heavy rider. So I remember the last few tests I've done, I didn't do as well as I wanted to because I didn't pace myself right. What I normally do is, because I've been training really hard for 4 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever, you have an imaginary goal in your mind that you want to achieve, and you think, oh yeah, I can get 300 and whatever watts, I can improve by loads. So you have this figure in your head, you start off strong and you think, yeah, I'm doing well. You get to 5-minute mark and you bump it up a bit. You get to 10-minute mark, you bump it up a bit. And then all of a sudden you hit a wall and you lose all power and you can't do anything with it and your power drops, so your average is rubbish. So this time what I thought I'd do, I had 3 different plans. I thought I could either do that, go out hard, because if you go out too low at the start and you don't get what you wanted, you'd be kicking yourself thinking, I could have done better. So I think Chris Boardman famously said, you got to think in your mind, can I do this pace? And if the answer is yes, it's too slow. If the answer is no, I can't do this pace, it's a bit too fast. If the answer is, I don't know, that's right. You should be struggling to do it. So I got a mate who's really good on the bike. He is fitter than me. So take his advice, and his advice would be, get your RPMs up to where you want it to be. So he likes to do 100 RPM. I'm a bit of a slower pedaler than that. So I think like 85 RPM. Get up to the power which you want to do. For example, if you're aiming for 300 watts, there's no point in doing 299 because it's less than the power you want. So 300 or above, get it to there and just stay there. If you manage it and you pass it, the next time you do a test, you bump it up by 2 or 3 or 4 and you go up and up and up. Only thing is though, if it was too easy, at the end of the test you're kicking yourself because you just waited 20 minutes and you got a lower result than what you wanted. It means you've got to repeat the test quite often. Depending how often you do tests, but you got to repeat them quite often. Otherwise, your training for the next period would be too easy because your training would be set at that the lower fitness. So I did think about doing that. I thought about keeping it thing, but in the back of my mind I was always thinking, yeah, but what if I keep it at that level and then I get to the halfway mark and I drop, I crash and I burn? Then my average is going to be worse. I don't know, can I do that? Can I do that power? The last few training sessions on Zwift have been building up to this test, and I did a 30-minute the other day and a 20-minute thing and a couple of intervals, and I was thinking I'm looking good. I reckon I can do better. But then what I did was I went on YouTube searching for FTP test hints and tips and stuff. So I saw 3 different videos at the start, and the one guy, it looked like he started off real easy. His final score was somewhere that I wanted. His final power in the last few minutes was something that I think I can do. And he started off mega easy, and it looked like his power just went up gradually. So I was thinking, oh, that looks good. So what I did was, the first 5 minutes, on purpose, I kept my power quite low. It was, well, turns out it's too low. It was lower than what I wanted average. So I got to the 5 minute mark and I felt good, felt fine. No cramp, no stitches. It was all good. The 5 minutes went past quite fast, so I cranked up a bit. The next 5 minutes, so I went like 10 to 20 watts higher. And again, still no cramp, no stitches, felt pretty good. It took 5 minutes for my average power to go up by 10 watts. So I started to work it out now, so I got another 5 minutes, then another 5 minutes. So if I crank up a bit more, and I crank it up a bit more, will my average power come out what I want it to be? So I guess the halfway, gets the 10-minute mark, and I was feeling good. So I couldn't really spin much faster. I was going like 85, 90 RPM, so I cranked it up 1 gear. Thing is though, the power jumped up quite a lot. It jumped up 10, 20 watts more than what I wanted to do. But it felt alright, it felt good. I went along for the next 5 minutes. Instead of my power going up by 10 watts, my average power went up by a little bit more, 10, 15 watts. So I was looking good. I was thinking 5 more minutes and I can do this. The way it's going, I'm going to beat my goal, beat my average power goal. And like I said, the YouTube video I saw of this guy, his last couple of minutes, he got into 400 watts, 450 watt for a few minutes. So I was thinking, I can do that. The last couple of sessions I were doing 500, 600 watts for 30 seconds. I got a 10 second watt of about 1,200. So I was thinking, yeah, I might be, if I crank it up to 500, 600, the last 10 seconds I sprint to 1,000, my average watts might shoot up. But the last 5 minutes though, it hit me. I didn't crash and burn. I kept my power quite high. Just it wasn't quite high enough for my average to increase up. So I think I must have paced it just right, because the final 5 minutes was like what's it called? Your threshold, your VO2 max, your threshold. I must have been training at a good level, because my heart rate, you see on the results after, my heart rate went up to almost maximum of what it goes to. 172, 173. That's about the maximum what it goes. So the last 5 minutes I must have been working hard. I couldn't have gone any harder. But the first 5 minutes was too easy. So what I think I need to do is start off a little bit harder, maybe in the middle, bring the second 5 minutes up, the third 5 minutes down, the last 5 minutes down, smooth it out. Because I know now what the average was. I know I can start off on that power. I know I can do that power. So crank it all up, not too high. I'm not sure if I can redo the test tomorrow or not. That might be a bit stretching myself a bit. The good news is, yeah, so I didn't crash and burn. The power went up and up and up for the whole test. My heart rate went up and up and up whole test. Everybody whinges and moans about FTP tests, saying that they need a sick bucket, that they're dying and they're really dreading it. But if you dread it that much, why do you do biking? It's not that bad. It's only 20 minutes. It's not like I've done 3 hours on turbo training before. That's your back starts hurting. So if there's no pain in your back, it's only 20 minutes. It's an hour test, but half an hour of that test or 40 minutes of that test is the warm-ups. 10-minute easy, bit of a sprint, 10 minutes easy, bit of a sprint. There's a 10-minute cool down. So it's only 20 minutes hard work. Does that mean it wasn't working hard enough? Well, my max heart rate went up to 172. That's pretty maximum. So yeah, if I just get the first 5 or 10 minutes, crank it up a little bit, pace it out a bit better, then my average will go up a bit more. So happy with the test, just not quite happy with the results. But I understand the results, I know where it is. I'm not going to tell you the exact figure. It's about the same as last time. So it hasn't gone up. But it has. The result doesn't say it's gone up, but I know it's better. Because last time I struggled with the test, last time was hard, this time the test was a lot easier. So it's a win. It is a win. But it's mega hot though, real hot. Even though it's late at night, the window open, the fan was on. I was mega hot. My heart rate was 100 beats at the start. I was sweating loads. Possibly because I've had a pre-workout before it. I haven't had pre-workout for a couple of weeks. I had a caffeine tablet with it. Maybe my adrenaline or whatever was going a bit more today because of the test. But I'm definitely hotter and sweatier today than the last few weeks training. But everything worked. The bike worked right. No faults in the equipment. So yeah, so I did the hour test. Want to make myself a bit better, so I carried on. Did another 30-minute workout, just to ride around New York. I managed to get it in at 23:59, so that counts as yesterday's training, not today's. So if I do a walk and another hour or so training tonight, I'll get some calories done. Yeah, so that's about it. Updates for the FTP test. So this video's gone live, and I'll try and save it into my story, so because not many people have watched it yet. So if I save it from a story, people can see it tomorrow. So oh yeah, I haven't posted much stuff recently on YouTube or Instagram because of one reason. Because before I used to use my phone on a bike for Trainer Road, and what you can do on Trainer Road is you can have you can minimize Trainer Road on your warm-ups or whatever when you know what power you're doing, and you can go into Instagram and you can do an Instagram story, go live, and the training will be in the background. But on Zwift, if you minimize Zwift, you actually close it. You can't keep it minimized in the background, still ride and use the Instagram. So that's why I haven't been doing any videos talking while I'm on a bike. So what I did do a bit of talking on this one because it's an FTP test, but my headphones on, I was getting in the zone. But what you got to do is you got to have your GoPro. So that means it's not live. You've then got to edit it because the GoPro files are massive. So you got to put it into the laptop, compress it, and then upload it. So that's the only reason why I haven't been posting much stuff. And then because of the way Instagram works, if you don't post videos or photos for a few days, you go down the bottom. So yeah, that's why I haven't put much content on, and that's probably why my stuff's at the bottom of the list. There's a lot going on these days as well, so my videos aren't that important. So unless I put it on hashtags which aren't relevant, I think that's cheating the system really. Probably get blocked if I did that anyway. So I'm not going to go hashtagging things which are in the news just to get myself up a little bit. I'll just keep it real, do my own thing. Like I always say, this is just my own diary, so I'm going to see what I'm doing. I'm basically talking to myself because no one's watching this video anyway. So it's come up to 1 o'clock. My battery's about to die. I need to get changed and go to bed. So I'm going to call it an end there, and then catch you in the morning. See you soon.